played all the same stuff. Except for the end, we changed it up. We played more than just that Law Rage songs.
Oh, really?
Oh, you played the second one?
What else did you play?
I don't know, we like played
That's
Combination Leader
Bang.
and Rondo, I think.
after everyone left? Or did you just like kind of run?
Like as people were leaving. We only played through Law Rage's songs once, so I kinda like it. Bryan, what time is it?
1:46.
Oh, and Stan told us to leave.
What?
Stan told us to leave.
This?
Yeah. He said it was weird to stay here.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. He
But there's
said,
like no one.
I mean, he said he's never been to one of these.
mm-hmm.
In the LSC.
Yeah.
He said it's rude to say?
He said it's weird. He didn't say it was rude.
Oh.
But he said where to stay.
I'm fine to leave.
Yeah, but the difference is like at Moby, it's like you're behind everyone, so they're not watching you.
Yeah.
Here it's like, wait,
Yeah.
where did you guys, or were you at Moby?
We were at Moby, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's ever played here. I think he's only played at Moby.
America?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice and slow. Hey, let's do it. Pickups into measure 2. So pretty.
I wonder if they've been having fun.
I think they
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they just do one year.
Ooh, I love this one right
Me
here.
too.
Is that after or before Entrada? Oh, I found it. if you want us to start right at 2 o'clock, then start right whenever will you kind of just be over there somewhere?
Yeah, so I'll stand by the doors.
The middle doors?
Just so, yeah. Normally they're, I feel like we're running behind today. Go by.
Yeah, if you just like give us a wave or something. Just be like,
Yeah.
As soon as they're about to.
Yeah, well, perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So nice.
Everyone is so nice at these gigs.
They're really nice.
One play?
Yeah.
What time is it?
1:53. Okay.
Hornpipe?
Yeah.
Have you ever played the second page?
No. Have you?
No. Like, I don't even know what it sounds like.
Jay-Z, Delight of My Soul.
Ugh.
It was kind of weird last time.
It was kind of weird. How about
It's
this?
really long.
Yeah, it is really long.
Wait, maybe we can do Rondo? Could we
Yeah, let's
end?
do the rondo.
Oh, yeah. Or end early.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's end early on Tuesday. Rondo? Do you guys have pickups or
I don't.
you have pickups? Yeah.
Do you have pickups, Ryan?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go 1, 2. Ba, 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 bum, bum. So 1, 2, 1. Ba, ba, bum, bum, bum. 1, 2, 1. Should we do a little Jesu, the light of my soul, and end at measure could end at C and just do the beginning of C.
And just like hold that.
Yeah.
Note at C.
Let's see.
Hold the note before C.
No, the note at C.
The note at C.
Oh, the downbeat of C.
Like just go over it.
I think, yeah, the downbeat of
Downbeat of C.
Okay.
And
Oh,
Okay.
it'll just be a little short and sweet.
So we're all just gonna like come out of from B to C.
Yeah. Does everyone understand? Stopping?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
they're calling us.
Are we prepping for?
Okay, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 1. Ba, 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 ba.
1, 2, 1.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
and play loud.
Yeah, play this. 1, 2, 1.
Will the audience please stand for the Wing Walker ROTC group to post the colors and the playing of the National Anthem, which will be sung by Miss Delaney Leffel.
Please be seated. Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Mark Stetter, and I have the honor and privilege of being the Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences here at Colorado State University. Please join me in a round of applause for our CSU Brass Ensemble and our soloist Delaney Leffel, one of our recent alums. Well, welcome one and all to the 2019 Fall Commencement Ceremony. What a wonderful day. Today we celebrate and recognize the accomplishments of these graduates, but an accomplishment of this magnitude is never done alone. And so we celebrate with family, with friends, with our faculty and staff who've helped make today possible. We're so pleased that you were able to make the time and travel the many miles to join us today. I'd like to begin today's ceremony with the acknowledgement of the origins of the land that our university is built upon. Colorado State University acknowledges with respect the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homeland of the Arapaho, the Cheyenne, and the Ute nations and people. This is also the site of trade, gathering, healing of numerous other native tribes. We recognize the indigenous people as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties of these nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU is founded as a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion, and significantly that the founding came at a dire cost to Native Americans and the people whose land and university this was built upon. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. Thank you. Let me start with some key introductions of those who have joined me on the platform today. I'm going to ask each person to stand and remain standing until all names have been called, and I'm going to ask everybody to hold your applause until everyone is standing. Dr. Rick Miranda is our Provost and Executive Vice President. Dr. Colin Clay is Professor and Executive Associate Dean. Dr. Sandra Quackenbush is Professor and Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs. Lieutenant Colonel Troy Thomas, Army ROTC and Professor in Military Science. Dr. Don Milkes, who's Professor and Director of the University Honors Program. Dr. Bob Honda, Professor and Interim Head of the Department of Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Bruce Alexander, Professor and Department Head for Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences. Dr. Carol Seeger, Professor and Director of Molecular, Cellular, and Integrative Neuroscience. Dr. Mark Zabel, Associate Dean of Research and Interim Department Head of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology. Dr. Quint Winger, Associate Professor and Associate Department Head of Biomedical Sciences. Dr. Phil Quirk, Assistant Professor and Director of our Neuroscience Program. Dr. Judy Heiderscheit, who's Assistant Professor and Associate Department Head of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences. And Dr. Alan Schenkel, Associate Professor in Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology. Please join me in thanking all those for being on the platform today. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce Lieutenant Colonel Troy Thomas, who's going to recognize our newest commissioned officers.
Multiple scripts. Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me here today. It is my great pleasure to introduce two of the newest lieutenants in the United States Army. If they would please stand up when I read their names. Please hold your applause until I've read all the names. Second Lieutenant Jason Powell and Second Lieutenant William Powell. No, you're not seeing double. They are twins. I'd also like to make a special announcement and recognize Benjamin Martin. Benjamin will commission into the Navy here shortly as a Naval Environmental Health Officer. He will report to training at Newport, Rhode Island, January 2020, and will report as an Environmental Health Officer to the 2nd Marine Division at Camp Lejeune in North Carolina after his training. I'd also ask that any other active duty or veteran students in the commencement ceremony also stand at this time. And then finally, any active duty or veterans in the audience, please stand at this time. Please join me in a round of applause for all these active duty veterans. Jason Powell will go ahead and commission to the United States Army in his branch as a chemical officer. Will begin his career at the Chemical Basic Officer Leadership Course at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. And Lieutenant William Powell is commissioned in the United States Army and has been selected for the Army Educational Delay Program and will attend medical school next year. Congratulations to you all. Again, thank you. Go Rams.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Thomas. Hello, my name is Sandy Quackenbush, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Associate Dean for Academic and Student Affairs. It's my pleasure now to introduce Maxwell Drummond, a graduate in microbiology who has been selected by his peers in the College Student Council to make the commencement address today. Max, would you please step to the podium for your remarks?
Congratulations, CVMBS Fall Class of 2019. We did it. I'm fortunate to look around today and see several familiar faces that have helped me get where I am now. I am thankful for all of you. Have I ever told any of you what my favorite word is? It's ameliorate, and it means to make something better. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to convince you why I think it's the appropriate word to describe these past few years for all of us. We've been challenging and improving ourselves the entire time that we've been here. It's astounding where we are in comparison to where we started. I remember how naive I was initially. Fresh out of my parents' house, I thought I was a wise and fully independent adult within society. Well, an adult that was living in dorms with an RA and a support network of peers that felt similar feelings of excitement and confusion that I did. This environment and my classes allowed me to be humbled when I realized how little I actually knew. I'm sure we all share similar experiences from our first few years. I believe this realization was essential to our success, as it allowed us to grow. We saw honestly where we were, and thanks to our curiosity and faculty that genuinely cared about our futures, we saw where we could go. We identified distant goals and set down a path to accomplish them. Along the way, we got to explore a variety of subjects and ideas. We got to play with stinky bacteria in general microbiology lab. We poked around at cadavers in anatomy lab. We struggled our way through functional neuroanatomy, and we learned how to predict and prevent the next pandemic. With each class came a handful of skills, knowledge, and friends that ameliorated who we were. I understand it's difficult to appreciate all the nervous breakdowns and late nights we sacrificed in the library, but they were worth it. We should all be proud of what we have accomplished. College is a unique opportunity that we have had the privilege of experiencing. It is estimated that less than 7% of the world's population has a college degree. What we have done is special, and we are now able to have a greater influence on the world. We can apply the skills and the knowledge that we have acquired to productive careers that will positively affect our communities. However, we are far from done. These past few years have been a transitional stage where we have developed an appreciation for knowledge. It is imperative that we don't grow complacent and that we continue to push ourselves to improve. We owe it to ourselves to keep going, and we owe it to our community to encourage others to pursue further education. Now, I know the future is intimidating. Some of us have identified what our next steps are, while others are still searching. To both, I encourage you to do what makes you happy. Regardless of what your interests are, you will find others that share them. You are all amazing. Don't settle and don't sell yourself short. The possibilities are endless. You are all amazing, and I am proud and thankful that we got to learn together. I look forward to seeing the wonderful things that we will accomplish. I'd like to thank my family, friends, mentors, teachers, and everyone that has helped me along the way. I'm grateful for all the opportunities I've been provided, and I'm sure that these thanks are echoed by my peers. College has allowed us to ameliorate ourselves. I hope that you can see that. Congratulations on your accomplishments and your development over these past few years. Go Rams.
Thank you, Max. We are very proud to be here today celebrating with our graduates as they make the transition away from the university and out into the world. You will see that we have an incredibly impressive graduating class. Our students came to CSU from all over the country, California to Maryland, Minnesota to Texas, and everything in between, including our homegrown Colorado students. We also have 11 of our graduates that are first-generation students. A first-generation college student is one who is the first in their family to attend university. A critical part of our land-grant mission is to provide access to education and to help ensure our community has the opportunity for a college education. The success of first-generation students in our college and at our university is a point of pride for all of us. It is a pleasure to recognize students who are graduating today with distinctions and honors. For students being honored, please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all of your colleagues in all categories are introduced. I ask that the audience members hold your applause until all have been recognized and are standing. Let me start with students graduating with highest distinction based upon their cumulative grade point average. Summa cum laude graduates are the top 1% of the class. Magna cum laude graduates are the next 3% of the class, and cum laude graduates are the next 6% of the class. These graduates may be wearing gold bachelor's regalia. Izzy Bauer and Jamie Lynn Barbie are graduating magna cum laude. Sam Beaver, Hope Chatwin, Elena Leon, and Will Powell are graduating cum laude. Candidates graduating as University Honors Scholars or Disciplinary Honors Scholars must complete the honors program course requirements and a thesis while maintaining an overall GPA of 3.5. These students may be wearing green bachelor's regalia. Students, please stand as a group and be recognized as candidates for graduation as honors scholars. These students will be recognized individually as they walk across the stage to receive their diploma. All the honors students, please stand. Please join me in applauding the accomplishments of this group of outstanding young colleagues. Please be seated. Dr. Miranda, it is my pleasure to confirm that each of these students has completed the degree requirements for their program of study and have been recommended by the faculty members in that discipline to receive their academic degree.
Well, good afternoon, graduates, and good afternoon, everyone else who's here today. It's a very great pleasure and honor to be here with you today. It's graduations are wonderful events, aren't they? I mean, it's a microcosm of the entire community here and your entire 4 years here. We have our graduating seniors here who are, your fellow students. We have our faculty here. We have staff here. We have your family and friends here. It's like a little big bang that's happening. Everyone involved in your education in the last 4 years have collected, and now we're going to disperse. And that's what happened in the Big Bang, the physicists tell me, too. So it's a wonderful moment, but it is just a moment. I want you to savor it, and then I want you to go on and do great things, as I know all of you will. This is the moment, though, that you'll get your degrees. And I don't know that that you really appreciate this, but this is the only thing that matters. The coursework, forget it. The degrees, the advisor, the registrar, nothing matters. This is the one sentence that is going to take you and get you your degree. So please rise. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University System, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all of the rights, privileges, obligations, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Yeah, that was it, yeah. Congratulations, everybody. That was the Big Bang. Sit down, let's go.
Will our commencement marshals, Chase Walden and Kristen Bryan, please escort the graduates to the platform. This fall, we are honored to have faculty members nominated by their respective departments to read the student statements. We are joined by Dr. Christiane McGee for Biomedical Sciences, Dr. Lucas Argueso for Environmental Health, Mr. Pete Justice for Microbiology, and Dr. Leslie Stone-Roy on behalf of Neuroscience. Each will read statements about the graduates as they cross the stage. Please hold applause until all graduates from that department have been recognized.
William Bryan. William Bryan Powell of Austin, Texas, enjoyed skiing, served as an officer in the Pre-Medica Club, traveled to Sri Lanka, and participated in Army ROTC, and was commissioned today as a second lieutenant. William plans to attend medical school. Jason Powell of Austin, Texas, served as a teaching assistant for microbiology and was an active member of Pre-Medica and the Army ROTC program. Jason will serve his 4-year commitment to the Army before applying to medical school. Allie Ray Counter of Highlands Ranch was an active ram handler for Cam the Ram and served as the Vice President of Operations and Chapter President for Kappa Delta Sorority. Allie will pursue a master's degree in genetic counseling. Naomi Gersheitz of Aurora worked as a medical scribe in Cheyenne, was a lab assistant at the Veterinary Teaching Hospital, and made some amazing friends in Fort Collins. Naomi plans to take a gap year to work and travel. Jacqueline Elaine McRae of Albuquerque, New Mexico, worked at the National Wildlife Research Center, was a member of the Sensoromotor Neuroimaging Lab, and studied abroad in Zambia. Jacqueline will work as a medical assistant before applying to medical school. Gunnar Hooks of Austin, Texas, conducted research in the Barfield Lab, completed an honors thesis, and worked as a resident assistant. Gunnar plans to pursue a master's degree at CSU and ultimately attend medical school. Victoria Catherine Massey of Loveland was a university honors scholar, volunteered with multiple health systems, worked at Starbucks as a manager and Banner Health as a medical scribe, and became a runner. Victoria plans to apply to medical school. Kenneth Schuster of Ashland, Massachusetts, served as the Public Relations Officer and President of the Biomedical Student Association and was an active leader and educator with the Hillel of CSU. Kenny will work as a clinical research coordinator for Aura Clinical in Andover, Massachusetts. Kara Kovatz of Fort Collins was a university honor student, worked in parasitology and neuroscience labs on campus, and is currently employed at Biomark. Kara plans to pursue a career in medical and scientific illustration. Melanie Ilana Rosen of Thousand Oaks, California, served as president of the American Sign Language Club, conducted research at CSU's Equine Orthopedic Research Center, and volunteered with Larimer Humane Society. Melanie will attend Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine in the spring. Ishita Gorvarden of Lansing, Michigan, learned to rock climb, served as an anatomy camp counselor, worked in 2 research labs, and completed a thesis. Ishita will work as a medical scribe and hopes to attend medical school next fall. Cole Helwig of Underwood, Minnesota, completed an honors thesis on kombucha and its effects on the human body, worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, and traveled to Amsterdam. Cole will apply to graduate school. Please join me in congratulating our BMS graduates. I also didn't follow instructions and didn't tell you that our graduates were greeted by the Department of Biomedical Sciences Interim Department Head, Dr. Bob Honda, and Associate Department Head, Dr. Quint Winger, when they were up there. Thank you.
The following graduates of the Department of Environmental and Radiological Health Sciences will be greeted by Department Head Dr. Bruce Alexander, Associate Department Head Dr. Judy Heidelschart, and congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Our first graduate is Zachary Johnson of Arvada, Colorado. He served as a residential assistant for 3 years, interned at the YMCA of the Rockies, and was a member of the Environmental Health Student Association. Zach will continue to work as an environmental health and safety consultant at Hellman and Associates. Ashley Chase of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, was a member of CSU's women's hockey team, interned with the City of Fort Collins Water Treatment Facility, and apprenticed at Anheuser-Busch in production operations. Ashley will continue working at Anheuser-Busch before pursuing a career in local government. Kendall Greenlee of Elizabeth, Colorado, completed internship in in emergency management, and served as the professional development liaison for the Environmental Health Student Association. After graduation, Kendall plans to work in the private sector. Maggie Schnettler of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, volunteered with environmental nonprofits to engage with youth voters, worked on research and disease prevention with the Vector Disease and Control International, and presented research at Colorado Environmental Health Association Annual Education Conference. Maggie will pursue a career in public health and safety. Bailey Shell of Fort Collins, Colorado, was a hazardous waste assistant at CSU's Environmental Health Services, interned with occupational health and industrial hygiene at Walt Disney World in Florida, and volunteered with the city of Fort Collins. I'll add that she also did research in my lab and did a fabulous job. Bailey will pursue employment in environmental health and safety. Next, we have Ben Martin of Albuquerque, New Mexico, who enjoys mountain biking and snowboarding, and enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 2011. Served tours of duty with the Marine Corps and a naval hospital and a destroyer, and after commencement, in a few minutes, Ben will commission as a Naval Environmental Health Officer. Please join me in congratulating our environmental health graduates.
Following graduates of the Department of Microbiology, Immunology, and Pathology will be greeted by Acting Department Head Dr. Mark Zabel, Associate Professor Dr. Alan Schenkel. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Maxwell Drummond of Colorado Springs served as the president of the Microbiology Student Association, conducted research in the Akina and Dean labs, and tutored several microbiology courses. Max plans to attend graduate school to continue research and teaching. Sarah Evans of Lakewood participated in a pre-vet club, was a founding member of CSU's chapter of Tri Beta Honor Society, and worked at the Wellington Veterinary Hospital. Sarah plans to pursue graduate school and continue working in the veterinary field. Marie Elizabeth Lubitz of Trinidad, Colorado, served as treasurer of Circle K International and enjoyed hiking at Horsetooth and exploring the butterfly pavilions in northern Colorado. Marie will attend a medical laboratory science program before pursuing a career in healthcare. Tyler Dill of Delta, Colorado, worked in the microbiology prep lab, volunteered with CSU's Fostering Success program, and organized climate awareness events. After graduation, Tyler will pursue a career in medical laboratory science. Frank Basler of Severance worked as an electrical engineer, was elected to the town board of Severance, and appointed to the Clearview Library District Board. Frank will continue to work, study, and do research. Elena Lan of Aurora was a university honors student, conducted research in the Pereira Lab, presented at international conference, and survived organic chemistry. That's a mark. Elena plans to pursue a PhD program in microbiology. Bryan Bennis of Broomfield conducted research on tuberculosis in Dr. Gonzalez Guerrero lab, was a member of the CSU Photography Club, and spent a lot of time in Rocky Mountain National Park. Bryan plans to gain work experience before pursuing graduate school. Callie Ward of Roanoke, Virginia, conducted research in the Sant'Angelo lab, worked part-time at Cosmos Pizza, and spent summers exploring Colorado. Callie will continue her research in the Sant'Angelo lab while pursuing a career in microbiology. Tyler Gregory Thomas Fenderson of Washington, D.C., worked at the University Center for the Arts and the Veterinary Teaching Hospital, and was a research fellow under Dr. Claudia Gentry Weeks, in whom he found a friend and a mentor. Tyler will pursue a second bachelor's degree in computational science. Xijun Zhan of Shenzhen, China, volunteered as a teaching assistant for general microbiology, worked as a research assistant in Dr. Schaunt's lab, traveled around America, and met lots of interesting souls. Xijun will gain more research experience by continuing working in Dr. Schaunt's lab. Clara Denise Calates of Manila, Philippines, volunteered in the parasitology lab at CSU's Veterinary Laboratory and worked full-time at Engelhart & Associates Family Dentistry. After graduation, Denise will attend the Medical Laboratory Science program at Denver Health. Samuel Beaver of Redmond, Washington, volunteered at the Centers for Disease Control for 2 years and conducted research on mosquito-borne viruses. Samuel plans to work as a lab technician before pursuing a PhD. Colin Goff of Breckenridge worked as a medical scribe at Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, volunteered as a RAM welcome leader, and will be going to Marine Corps boot camp to serve his country. Cassandra Allison of Cedar Park, Texas, served as a teaching assistant for biology and general microbiology, interned at Pets Forever, and worked as a barista. Cassandra will take a gap year to gain veterinary experience before applying for vet school. Mariah Glennon of Lafayette gained academic research experience in the Schenkel Lab, was a teaching assistant for microbiology, and worked full-time as a phlebotomist. Mariah will apply to medical school and plans to attend next fall. Ash Humphrey of Denver worked full-time while completing her degree and gained experience in laboratory skills and teaching. After graduation, Ash will attend the Medical Laboratory Science program at Denver Health. Amanda Lee Berry of Fort Collins obtained her phlebotomy certification in 2015, worked full-time as a phlebotomist during her time at CSU. After graduation, Amanda would like to do quality control for a pharmaceutical company or research for the CDC. Hope Bethany Chatwin of Highlands Ranch was a member of the University Honors Program, worked as a lab assistant in the chemistry department, and completed an honors thesis. Hope plans to pursue a career in the documentary film industry. Jamie Catherine Lynn Barb of Mesa, Arizona, was a member of Alpha Sigma Kappa Women in Technical Studies, worked as a research assistant in Dr. Crick's tuberculosis research lab, and completed an honors thesis. Jamie will attend graduate school at Johns Hopkins for infectious disease epidemiology. Jake Dawson of Aurora participated in stem cell research at the Colorado Spine Institute, wrote an honors thesis on HIV treatments, and worked as a medical scribe. Jake plans to obtain his EMT certification before applying to medical schools. Please join me in congratulating our MIP graduates.
The following graduates are from the undergraduate neuroscience program. This program is jointly sponsored by the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences and the College of Natural Sciences. Our graduates will be greeted by directors Dr. Carl Seeger and Dr. Philip Quirk. Congratulations will be offered by college and university officials. Alexander John Turner of Centennial served as a resident assistant, completed a research internship at the German Cancer Research Institute in Heidelberg, Germany, and enjoyed camping and rock climbing. Alexander will pursue a career in biotechnology or healthcare. Spencer William Albert of Evergreen made lifelong relationships through extracurricular activities and worked on a study at Johns Hopkins University to predict cognitive decline in normal individuals. Spencer plans, please, wait. Spencer plans to work in a medical setting before applying to medical school. I know we're all excited. Berkeley Piker of Longmont studied abroad in the Czech Republic, was a teaching assistant for multiple courses, and volunteered around Fort Collins. Berkeley will attend Skaggs School of Pharmacy at the University of Colorado Anschutz Medical Campus next fall. Julia Tegetoff of Fort Collins conducted research in the Brainwaves Research Lab, volunteered at Medical Center of the Rockies, and was a TA for general microbiology and functional neuroanatomy. Julia will attend the Doctor of Pharmacy program at the CU Denver Anschutz Medical Campus. Annalise Joy Morlino of Albuquerque, New Mexico, was a CSU cheerleader her freshman year, worked as a personal care provider, and worked in Dr. Meyer's research lab. Annalise plans to take time off from school before applying to physician's assistant programs. Jenna Elise Gronberg of Petaluma, California, worked full-time as a bartender, conducted research with CSU's Brainwaves Research Lab, and completed a senior thesis. Jenna plans to continue her education and conduct further research. Julia Metley of Longmont gained research experience in Dr. Lucy Troop's lab, presented at the Cognitive Neuroscience Society Conference in San Francisco, and completed a neuroscience senior thesis. Julia plans to pursue a master's degree in biomedical sciences before applying to medical school. Izzy Bauer of Portland, Oregon, served as a proud orientation and RAM welcome leader, studied abroad in Peru, and participated in research. Izzy will take time to work and do research while applying to medical school. Sean Robert Harris of Highlands Ranch worked as an EMT, was a teaching assistant for multiple life sciences courses, and guest lectured for biology and psychology courses. Sean will continue working as an EMT while applying to medical school. Ashley Nicole Lipinski of Greenwood Village served as a teaching assistant for Eukaryotic Cell Biology Lab, was vice president of the Honor Society NeuroSci, and presented her research at a local conference. Ashley will pursue a career in neuroscience research. Crystal Noelani Villanueva of Seattle, Washington, worked in 2 research labs, assisted students in the Writing Center, and served as an associate center in ASCSU and as a college council member. Crystal will travel around Europe before pursuing a master's degree in mechanical engineering. Sarah Ann Stokey of Thornton was a member of the Neuroscience Student Organization, conducted research on Alzheimer's disease in Dr. Sunny Kim's lab, and co-authored a publication. After graduation, Sarah will pursue a career in scientific research. Hannah Quackenbush of Chicago worked full-time as an EMT, served in the Army Reserves, and participated in 3 volunteer trips to Nicaragua and Ghana. Hannah plans to continue working while applying to physician assistance programs. Teresa Ann Driscoll of San Francisco worked in the memory lab under Dr. Ann Cleary, was a member of the Tri Delta sorority, and volunteered with victim assistance team. After graduation, Teresa will explore opportunities related to neuropsychology. Please join me in congratulating our neuroscience graduates.
On behalf of the entire College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences, I extend to all of our fall 2019 graduates congratulations for a job well done. We share your sense of achievement, pride, and satisfaction on this significant accomplishment. Now I'd like to pay tribute to a vital force in this university, a force of which each of you receiving a degree today is now a part of. I'm referring to the Colorado State University Alumni Association. I am pleased to call upon Dr. Bruce Alexander, a Colorado State alumnus, to induct our newest alumni.
Hi, my name is Bruce Alexander, and about 35 years ago, I was sitting just where you are now, holding my diploma from the College of Veterinary Medicine and Biomedical Sciences for the very first time. And I'll never forget how excited and proud I was at that point to finally get my hands on that diploma, and also feeling a little sentimental and a little bit nervous about that I'd be leaving this beautiful campus, jumping into real life, and moving away from some of the greatest times of my life at Colorado State University. It may be time for you to write the next chapter, tackle the next adventure, and live a life of purpose. Everyone sitting here has a different path in the future, but whether you stay in Fort Collins or travel to the far ends of the world, you all have one thing in common that's very important. That each of you, along with 250,000 others in front of you, are all Colorado State University alumni. You join poets and scientists, teachers and engineers, food producers, care providers, and entrepreneurs. When you leave this campus, be assured your university will not leave you. No matter your personal professional journey, you will know that the CSU Alumni Association, your college, your former professors will be here with you every step of the way. Based on personal experience, I promise that the pride, excitement, and nervousness you feel right now will provide fuel for the road ahead. But eventually, these feelings will change. They'll deepen, mix with memories, and turn into nostalgia. As that happens, remember that this place will always be special, a special home for you. Like the rows of the American elm trees on the Oval, you are rooted here. I'd like to be the first to welcome you to the alumni family. Congratulations on a job well done, and go Rams.
Thank you, Bruce, and welcome back yourself. Our college is routinely rated one of the top 3 programs in the country, if not the world. And there are a great many things that must come together to provide that level of excellence. The most critical elements in combination are our students, our faculty, and our staff, and I know we have the best in each category. I'd now like to ask our faculty and staff to stand and be recognized. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit off script here for a moment, which I know makes some people nervous. I'm going to ask the graduates, if you would please join me in a toast and raise your imaginary glass. You might be raising a real one this evening. Please join me in thanking your family and friends who have been so critical to your success. Everyone, thank you for your many years of love and support. Thank you for all that you've done to help ensure the success of these wonderful graduates. Clink, clink, cheers. And you'll do that for real tonight many times, right? The mission of our college is to improve the health of animals, people, and the planet through innovative and dedicated teaching, research, outreach, and clinical service. And through our actions, we empower the next generation of leaders to change the world. Let me repeat that very last part. We empower the next generation of leaders to change the world. Graduates, I hope you feel empowered and are excited about your future. We look forward to seeing all the great things you will do to help animals, people, and the planet. I'm going to ask the members of the audience to please remain seated while the platform group, the students, the faculty leave the ballroom as our alma mater is played. Thank you again for being with us today and helping us with this celebration. Please meet your graduate out in the lobby after the processional is done, and please have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you.
Memory
Okay, ready? Ready? Oh my god. Ready? 1, 2, 3.